project's artistic aims? Am I asking individually?
I think just ask, and then they can answer one at a time.
Reflect on it. I really go on.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the project's artistic aims?
I think to produce a short film which encompasses the ideas of feeling alone at a party, which I think a lot of people have felt.
I think the artistic aims of the film are to talk about something that a lot of people have recognised, and sort of making the audience and also the people creating the film feel like everyone's got a connection, despite maybe people not feeling isolated necessarily at a party, but most people in life will feel isolated at some point, and I think the film kind of pulls on that feeling. Yeah.
What is your leadership role on shoot?
Mine is art director.
Mine was acting.
What did these roles involve?
Mine was mainly pre-production, so it was considering the overall look of the project and trying to translate other people's ideas into a visual context.
Mine involved playing the main character in the film, and basically also narrating the story through voiceovers and basically following instructions of people on set. Yeah.
What knowledge and skills do you each need for these roles?
Mine, it's a good level of communication in that you have to talk through other people's ideas with them and make sure that they're being listened to and their ideas are being put forward in a way that they like, and also you just have to have a fairly visual way of thinking, and be fairly creative in your process.
What do you need to learn or find out to carry out your roles?
Ooh.
And who will you ask?
Oh.
Hang on, can you repeat it please, because we skipped over Ellie's.
Did we?
Oh, sorry.
What was the question?
What knowledge and skills do you need?
Okay.
For,
what knowledge and skills I need? I guess I needed a basic idea of how to act a character, which I think I've had from other previous things I've done. You need to be able to take on board criticism and not be like not be like a sore loser about it, because you have to be able to follow instructions from directors, from people who are doing costume, lighting, pretty much everyone actually. And you have to be pretty patient as well. I think that's quite a big skill to have because you have to repeat things over and over, so that's quite an important skill to have when acting, I think.
What do you need to learn or find out to carry out your roles, and who will you ask?
For art direction, I need to learn about how the other members of the crew view the film, and because a lot of people just will consider it in terms of narrative, they won't consider the look and how you can interpret some of the main themes in the narrative of isolation and outsiderness into a more visual link. So chatting through that, good communication skills are really important for that. Yeah.
I think as the fact that our drama was a basis of a lot of the group's actual stories from themselves, I think I might have to go and speak to all the group and discuss, because quite a lot of them were personal stories, and it was totally how they felt about it, and I think I could bring that along to the character. I'd also need to speak, on set, you'd have to speak to the director, ask about how they want, the scene to be, do they want it to be acted like this or like this? So, yeah, mostly the people that are pretty much, I'd say, not higher up, but have quite big roles on the film set, they're the ones to talk to about my role, I think.
How does your roles relate to others on the shoot?
With my role, it's less so much on the actual shoot, it's more beforehand, but in terms of the director will have a sort of an idea of what they want things to look like. Pretty much because this is such a big collaborative project, everyone's going to have an idea in their head of what it will look like. So the role relates to a lot of people in terms of things like lighting as well. That's really important because the main character, through lighting, you can make them look completely separate from the rest as well. Hair and makeup, definitely need to chat to them because that's a really big visual thing. Pretty much everyone.
Sorry, what? I've totally zoned out. What's the...
How does your role
Yeah.
relate to others on the shoot?
Okay. I think it relates to quite a lot of the people on the shoot. Directly, I'd say the director and the camera operators and the person who's DOPing. Also, first ADers. The director obviously relates to the role I'm playing because they give the criticism or the positives of what's happened in the scene. They ask you to go back again and redo it in the way that they feels right. The camera operators, obviously, they might need to say you're a bit out of shot, you need to come forward or backwards, and that in a way relates to how the DOP makes the overall shot look, where the person stands in the shot, where I stand in the shot. The first AD, obviously, they are the ones who call they're related back to the director who calls when the shot is starting, so you need to obviously follow what their instructions are, so quiet on set, action, etc. So yeah, I think those are how they relate. Yeah.
What resources do you need?
For me, it's completely varied on what people want for the actual production. That's something that's really big, but in terms of just like brainstorming ideas, I'd need access to like a printer to get mood boards and stuff sorted, paint, maybe ink and stuff like that, just to work through mood boarding. In terms of the stuff for the actual production, because it's a party scene, the props list is going to be really varied. You can never really tell. I'm just going to have to chat through all of the members of the crew and to see what they pretty much decide on.
I think pretty much I can only think of the script really. I think that's the incredibly important resource for what I'm doing, because without that I wouldn't have an idea of what's going on in the scene. Besides that, I think that's pretty much it. But on the shoot, obviously, there's going to be like I don't know. I think that really is the main thing that I need for my role, and I think that's I think that's pretty much it, really. Yeah.
Right.
And have you seen and understood the risk assessment, and what are your roles within an emergency?
Yes, have seen and understood the risk assessment, and my role is to follow instructions and to leave the building calmly and quietly.
Mine is pretty much the same as Grace's. Just to listen and not go crazy,
Not
panic.
panic. Yeah.